The coloring strokes are going horizontal on all the blank places, but around the lines they're going vertical.
Apparently, the writers don't know which way is horizontal and which way is vertical.
And things kind of got out of hand. The sleazy townsfolk met together that night to discuss the problem.
The devil's left foot has his toes pointing upward. Not a great stance if you're trying to balance.
You can balance in this pose. You don't even have to try to balance. You can balance.
This smile.
You gonna elaborate on why that's a sin?
Beard ink.
Sinning the beard.
You've all probably heard the rumors
about this plucky little fella named Cuphead.
The motion blur in this is fine, I guess. I mean, it makes everything look a little smoother, but at the same time, it doesn't really add much.
Says it doesn't add much seconds after saying what it adds.
Phantom Express and Warner Werman.
One sin for every time you call Blind Spectre Phantom Express.
This beak bends like it's made of flesh.
Have you seen any Foghorn Leghorn short? Or cartoon involving a bird?
Shut up! Every free bitches will be so good for his health.
This shot was really awkward and didn't make any sense. What was he doing with his arms? Was it supposed to be funny?
Those in glass houses.
This really distracting black uncolored spot in his mouth.
What are you talking about? The outline of his upper lip?
This lining around Captain Brainybeard's collar is a lot smaller than the lining on everything else here.
Yeah, that's allowed.
We're gonna kill off Cuphead. We're gonna make him die.
Whoa, calm down on the squash and stretch there, buddy.
Telling Goopy Legrand to ease up on the squash and stretch.
We're gonna kill off Cuphead. With a big goodbye. We're gonna kill off Cuphead. We're gonna make him pay.
All these sound effects are so distracting and make it hard to hear the song that's playing.
That's more of a you problem. Also, not saying the fact that the ship's uvula is parented to Captain Brainybeard's arm.
I guess this holding the head scene must have been pretty easy to do, considering the head was just a PNG and could have been easily dragged over.
And your point is?
I'll see that his life is cut short.
Another clear indicator that everything in this is just a separate PNG. The top of Phantom Express's eye doesn't have motion blur when it goes up, making it clear that it's a separate piece.
You literally just said the same thing twice.
That's not how you close your fists, bud.
It can be. You shouldn't judge people on how they close their fists.
I'm pretty sure a phone like this wouldn't work wirelessly.
That's why it's got a friggin' antenna!
See the briar ship is on knife. Use science.
The background is super blurry because this shot is so zoomed up.
Why was that shot of Cagney Carnation included? You ever get the sense that it was meant to be horrifying?
We're gonna kill off Cuphead. We're gonna make him pay. His head to the devil. His colors are today.
When the cat eats Warner, the cat's head goes through his body.
You keep showing these clips that have nothing to do with the next sin.
They call me King Dice, cause that's who I am. A royal painter's diabolical plan. To close some contracts needs a sucker or two. So come on, Cuphead kid, I'm talking to you.
This super stretched arm. Who is he? Elastigirl?
Cartoon physics.
For the stretching on King Dice's arm, the animator literally just stretched the PNG to be longer. You can tell because the end of his arm is all messed up.
Sitting the same thing twice. Again!
On this part, the lyrics end with an exclamation point, but the actual singing is whispering.
Do you even know how these things are used? Exclamation points are used to show a strong emotion, not when someone is speaking loudly.
Also, now his head is super tall. How do you mess these things up?
By not being skilled in animation, like you have claimed they are throughout this entire video. The Random Encounters team animated this video themselves, and they specialize in music, not animation. I mean, it's literally stated in the pinned comment on the video. Do you not know how to use a scroll wheel? Adding 10 cents.
Agreed to my game and you lost.
Oh,
Got something you want to tell us, Zach? Also, sitting thick glutes.
pretty sure Cuphead's ceramic head wouldn't squish like that.
Cartoon.
Also, why would he have a vein popping out right here?
Cartoon.
I'll take my teeth from your skull like cheap Chinaware.
Where's this ink coming from? Also, why is there ink coming from his head? I'm almost certain that never happens in the game.
Sitting the same thing twice. Again.
Also, magically appearing band-aids.
Cartoon.
I'll take my teeth from your skull like cheap Chinaware.
But he's a cup and doesn't have a skull, so what are you talking about?
The informal definition of skull is a person's head or brain. Need I say more?
The animator gives you one final look at all the characters that made your eyes bleed.
Show of hands, who thought the drawings in this video were passable at the least?
And they all lived happily ever after. Wait, no they didn't. I'm pretty sure those people killed him. Oh well, circle of life.
Ha 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 ha.
Zach does an impression of me suffering through the void scenes then.
Who is he reading to?
Us.
Was that not clear? Was that not clear?
Support new musicals and get exclusive perks by backing us on patreon.com/randomencounters.
Yes, support them on Patreon so they can pay better animators for future videos.
They didn't hire animators. They did the work themselves. An extra 5 cents! And the sin total is 50. And now for a review. This video was pretty objective when it came to the animation and how it wasn't exactly the best. But they constantly mentioned, both directly and indirectly, that the animators had some sort of experience in animation, that they'd been doing this for a while. And they didn't. It was all done by a small group of people who specialize in music. And that's what drove me up the wall. You can say how the animation isn't all that great. You can say how it can be improved. But you can't act like the animators were especially hired because Random Encounters thought they had some sort of talent, because that is factually not correct. While Animation Sins was still pretty new at this point, that doesn't make the video any better. Next up, sins of an average video.